Guys, today we were talking about the info wellbeing365.com.au, the inbox. Now, for anyone working on a shift that is required to check that email, the password's going to vary, and we can locate that password through a file that Shelley's going to give us information on. The password at the moment is wellbeing3650 with 2 exclamation marks and a capital W. Now, the reason why I want you to log on and check this is because this email is typically manned Monday to Friday from 7:30 a.m. until about 4 p.m. and then there's a gap, and then on Saturday it's manned from 7:30 a.m. until 4 p.m. and then on Sunday it's manned from 7:30 a.m. until 3 p.m. Now, if you're watching this video, you're either going to be someone who works on a Sunday and you're going to be expected to check that inbox, or you might be working on a Saturday or perhaps midweek. And for the purposes of checking the email, you're going to be getting inquiries about, hey, what's my appointment time? Or, hey, this is an emergency, are you open? Or you'll get people who write long emails to say, hey, can you help with my chronic migraines that I've had for 20 years? Or you'll get a lot of voicemails, which you're expected to respond to quickly. So in terms of the priority of the messages, there's going to be more urgent ones than others. Now, if you happen to be doing a favor and working a one-off shift, the key ones that you need to respond to are the voicemails or the urgent emails. Don't worry so much about the cases where people are asking something complex about insurance or non-urgent things about problems they've had for years. In those cases, you can just leave left as unread, or in the case you've read it, just click it as unread, and so that the person the next day can follow up with it, because typically there's going to be core people who work on this job. So if now we go onto my computer, now hypothetically, if you came in on a Sunday, you'd open one email browser over here, and this happens to be the info box, and then on another browser here you would open your personal email up here. So the reason why I've used 2 different browsers, I've used a Google Chrome browser for one versus a Firefox, is because Google doesn't allow you to open 2 different email accounts on the same browser of the same brand. So for example, Google Chrome, you couldn't open an email for info at Wellbeing and Jesse at Wellbeing. You have to use different browsers. So in this case, I've got both the browsers. I would then come over here, Jesse. I would then run the shift, and throughout the shift, I would have my email that I can go back to, and then on the other screen, I would have the info box. So if we're looking at this info box, the girls who run this is typically headed up from Gina and from Felicity. They allocate these emails during the middle of the week to their different folders. But for the purposes, if you're just helping out, the main ones you'd be interested in doing would be anything that says voicemail, etc. And then should you actually say action one of these emails, you can then move it over to one of these folders here. And the folders are pretty self-explanatory. Voice messages here, so you can click on the voice messages. Looking at the dates, these are all from yesterday. So it actually looks like we haven't had any voicemails today. So look, that's the main points that I want everyone to understand, is use 2 browsers for your email accounts, and you need to be checking regularly throughout a shift and responding particularly to voicemails or urgent inquiries. A prime example would be you're working on a Sunday, someone randomly emails you on a Sunday, hey, I'm in Melbourne for the weekend, I'd like an appointment, could you please help me? The worst case scenario would be that no one checks that email, and on Monday morning, Gina, who would be on this job, she would see it and think, well, now it's too late. So you really want to try to action those in a timely manner. Any questions, yell out to me. Speak to you all soon.